Hi, in my first video I wanted to show you how I created a trading robot. So what's the strategy and if this algorithm can make you profitable in your trades or not. Enjoy! I've been around trading and investing, so forex, stocks and crypto around a year now. And I've had some demo accounts on which I've been improvising and then tried some strategies, and then I've used some real money, like $50 on real account, to try if there is any difference between those accounts, and if I can make any profits actually. But sadly, I couldn't. People who have many years of experience, and I'm saying tens of years, tell you that you need an average 5 years of experience to become a successful trader. And it is because you need to use cold calculations in your trades and not to get emotional. And it's very, very hard to train your mind in terms of trading. They say it's like 50% controlling your emotions, and another 50 is this strategy. I know how it was in my case. Whenever I've been using some strategy, I tend not to stick to it. Why? When I saw prices approaching a point where I was supposed to start a transaction, I didn't wait enough and buy too fast to have far better opportunity just a few seconds later, or minutes actually, not seconds. And when I was about to close the position and I had opportunity to do it, I tend to wait too long, because I thought it will gain more value, so it will cost more, and then it went the other way. Or when I closed the transaction and I had nice profits, I took a transaction in opposite direction and then it went another direction, so not the direction I wanted. And you do it all the time. It's hard to actually become aware and control your emotions after a just few trades. It takes years of trading, and probably you need to lose your real money, because demo accounts money means nothing and you just won't take much lesson from it. Another thing is I couldn't focus on anything else. I've been staring all my free time at the screen and looking if price is good enough to start or close the transaction. It was even worse when I had already opened position, because I was waiting where to close it. Even it wasn't real money, or it was small amount of real money, I always wanted to trade the best I could. And because of that, I decided not to trade anymore, at least for a while. I thought I can control my emotions and it has a negative effect on what I'm doing with my free time. So I just quit, and then I started reading about some strategies, algorithms, psychology in trading, and what can make you actually profitable in your trades. So in the meantime, I thought it could be actually interesting if I can build a trading robot. So it trades by itself, and I just set it up once and don't do anything more and see if the account balance is growing or not. And then I bumped into the article which was describing a strategy created in 1977 by Robert Lichello. I'm not going to describe all of the details, but it was a very simple strategy. All you had to do was to sell or buy certain asset on specific price level, but it is a very long-term strategy. So in the long run, after let's say 10 years, you could have like 30 or 40% of initial capital, even though value of the asset was lower at the end than initial value. And I've done it with my friend Krzysztof Brzuska. We created a robot and backtesting script, and actually we are not using it in real market because we are not interested in very long run, which is many years. In trading, you can find a lot of dangerous stuff on the internet. There are people who show you a strategy and tell you this strategy can make a millionaire just in a few months, or get stable income, passive income in trading, but you either need to buy my course for 1,000 or buy Signal Group membership for 300 per month. So you see this strategy, but you can actually be successful until you get a course from them, and mostly those strategies are very simple, so they are very basic and they are not profitable, but they show you only few trades, or like they don't show you trades they lost. And many people are victims of their manipulation, and it's really serious manipulation stuff. Those people post a lot of toxic stuff, so you think that they are very successful people, that they work on beaches, they work from a bed or don't have any boss above them, and that everyone can trade. They travel to different exotic places every month, and they make hundreds or thousands with very little effort. I think they more like marketers. They try to scam, trick you with all of this being successful narration. I mean, I'm not saying that's not possible, but I would say you need much more experience than a few months, and you actually don't want to trade when you're enjoying your free time, because you need to be 100% focused, and in reality, this is serious hard work. So you can learn basic stuff actually, but you rather lose your money in the long run following their advices. But you can find any of that stuff for free on YouTube. It is quite hard and it takes time to learn the principles of trading. Many people get easily manipulated in all of this motivational and fancy programs, or get rich in no time. So you see a lot of stuff like this on a daily basis, everywhere on the internet, but sometimes you might see real and reliable people's ideas. That evening I saw a post from a person who showed their strategy, and I found it really interesting. So I checked it, if it was profitable in past few weeks, and then I thought I could actually test it, like seriously test it. So I planned on the Christmas break, I'm going to create a backtest script. So I did it, and after a few days I realized it wasn't so good as I thought. It could actually make great profits in certain periods, but in the long run you lose it all. So I shared my results under the strategy thread on Facebook, and the inventor of the strategy said, you might have some bugs there. So I checked it, and I had indeed some bugs. But actually, the problem was somewhere else. I had a custom-made script, and data was only 5-minute candles. Price of assets change every second, so 5-minute candles weren't really reliable, even though you use it to see if you have a formation to start a trade or not. And then I decided I'm going to create a real-time trading robot on real exchange. And because this original strategy was created to trade Bitcoin, and generally crypto exchanges are very easy to connect via API, so I chose Bitcoin and Bybit exchange. It took me a few days to recreate this strategy in JavaScript and Node.js. And I'm glad that I've chosen this exchange, because they have either testnet and realnet, so the only thing you need to do to change the account type is to change one variable in code. So what's the strategy? The original author of it is Marcin Zubrzycki, and as credits for him I leave a link to his Facebook profile in case you want to see the original strategy, or its evolution actually, because it's improved already comparing to initial one. I mean, I've changed the original version as well, so there it is. In trading you have candles. I'm not going to explain what they are exactly, but in our case 5-minute candles, so one candle is priced from 5-minute period. There is also average of X candles. We are gonna use average from last 20 candles. So when you count an average for every candle, you get a line. So it's drawing every time new candle is appearing, and this line is called moving average. For our needs, we're gonna multiply this average value for every point by, it's actually less than 1%, and it's 0.008. And then we get the result and subtract and add to every average candle value. So we get two bands, and the indicator we just created is originally called envelope indicator. In trading, we can start two transaction types. First one is, I would say, default one, because it's a long, in which you assume the price will go up, so you earn when the price goes up. And there is the opposite one, it's called short, so you earn when the price goes down. So looking at the chart, whenever the current price touches the top of the channel, so its upper band, you close your long position and take short position. And when you start a transaction, you actually want to set a stop loss. So you set a stop loss at the current price minus 2% of the current price. And there is another thing you need to consider. Whenever you take profit or take loss and price is out of the channel, you need to wait until it reaches channel back, because it might go further very rapidly when it's out of the channel. So this robot has another feature, and this is my improvement. You actually don't close the transaction whenever price hits the band, but you set a stop loss of $5 less or more. It depends on transaction type. So when you play short, you actually set stop loss $5 higher than current price. And it's every time you set those stop losses, it's out of the channel. So if it is going back to the channel, you just leave this stop loss set when it was out of the channel. So using this, you might grab rapid spikes or drops, but you actually have less profits mostly, because huge spikes or drops are this is rare thing. So that's the strategy. And right now, let's look at the transaction. Need to go to order history and select only BTC, because we were trading this strategy on BTC. Let's see BTC USD. We need to go to the last page, because we need to start what it was at the beginning. This account was especially created for trading this strategy. Okay, so that's last page. First trades were for testing purposes, and I've used only half account because another half went to ETH. So our starting value was like 200 of contracts. Because of we are using 5x leverage, it means we have $40 on our account, so $1 is $5. I'm not going to explain how leverage is working, but we need to assume we have $40, and because of that we use in 5x leverage 200 of contract, and we are going to see what happened in the next days. So there was, we can see 170, and then even I think the lower point was 132. Minus B for the amount of quantity means it was short, not long. This is probably the lowest value amount of contracts. And let's see what went later on. 132, then 150, and then huge and rapid growth, and it's like 250. Let's see what was later on. 135, and this is peak. This is our peak, and this is 269, and this is actually 69 by, this is actually 34.5% of our initial account, and then another drop, another gains situation. So you see 136, 187, and right now for today, latest transaction was for 128. So it's like, let's see how much loss is this, 72 by 200. So it's like very similar to peak. We had 34%, and right now we have 36% actually of losses. So that means you had already profits, and right now we have some loss. Does this bot can make you successful? Depends on market conditions. It works the best on consolidation phase, so the price just fluctuates at a certain price level, and it's not effective when you have a trend. So you had profits at a certain time, so it was like 35%, and you either have loss right now at the 35% level. What I want to say, I don't know how would it behave if I actually set it up differently or at extra conditions or filtering. I see there is huge potential to improve. I don't know how will it behave in the long run, like 1 year, and I tested it neither on the forex nor the stocks market, so only crypto. And it was because of that, I guess, in original strategy, because crypto has different laws and are more volatile, so it suits our strategy the best. And what are the outcomes after I spent tens of hours creating this bot? In terms of trading, I actually got to know what is behind indicators and got more understanding of them. And the other thing is, I learned you do need to test the strategy before you get excited and throw your real money in. It might work in the first days, but then it can go totally different way. And after you're sure, you can try it on a real account eventually. Yeah, I wanted to see the results instantly, but I had to wait, and I'm glad I waited. And I probably will wait more to see how it works in the long run, and definitely make improvements to the strategy. And after all of this, it's all about things I learned and how much fun and excitement I had creating all of this. I mean, times when I were awake until 4 or 5 a.m. That's also nice, right? One thing I know is I want to discover it more. It's still exciting and very joyful whenever I see something is working or might work better in this strategy than it was initially when I started working on this. And that's the end. Thank you and see you next time.